A mom has told of her heartache when her baby girl Esme was tragically born sleeping at 24 weeks. As her daughter's second birthday approaches, Lucy Cuskin is sharing her story, in an effort to help other parents who have lost a child and keep her daughter's memory alive. When Lucy was pregnant, she had a subchorionic hematoma at 12 weeks, bleeding when the placenta detaches from the original site of implantation. The 32-year-old, of Bertley, Tyne. I was told the bleeding could get less and less and then would stop. Lots of women have this and go on to have a healthy full-term pregnancy with no complications. I had it in my last pregnancy. I have a 1-year-old daughter. She was born at 39 weeks and was healthy. Lucy Cuskin, front, center, who has been fundraising with colleagues at Halo Hair Salon in Hebburn, Image, Newcastle Chronicle. Despite the bleeding, Lucy had regular scans which showed her baby was fine. However, her waters broke early at 23 weeks. At the Royal Victoria Infirmary in Newcastle, she was monitored and checked. They checked her heartbeat and everything was fine, said Lucy. Her heartbeat at lunchtime was fine. They checked it again at 6 p.m., it was fine. Then at 10 p.m. at night, before going to bed, the midwife checked again but she said she couldn't get a heartbeat. I was not worried at all because it was always a bit difficult to find a heartbeat. The midwife said she would get a more experienced midwife, who came but she could not find a heartbeat either. She called a doctor and they did a scan. The doctor put the scanner down and said, "I am really sorry, I can't find a heartbeat." Lucy Cuskin has been fundraising with colleagues at Halo Hair Salon in Hebburn, Image, Newcastle Chronicle. Most read. Volodymyr Zelensky survives 3 Kremlin assassination plots due to double agents. Puppy smiles at everybody who visits shelter in hopes someone will adopt him. The Ukraine war pictures Vladimir Putin doesn't want Russians to see, and why. I just said you are wrong, you are going to have to check again. Just a few hours before, everything was fine. They checked again and said they couldn't find a heartbeat. I was still expecting the consultant to say she had it wrong. I can't remember much about what happened after that. They had to clear the girls from the ward because I was so distressed. I was convinced they had got it wrong. I just could not get my head around it. I thought Esme would 100% be born alive and they would realize they just made a massive mistake. Preparations were then made for the birth. Lucy started dilating and Esme was born sleeping at 1:05 a.m. on March 28, 2020. Lucy needed surgery to remove the. She was able to spend 2 precious days with little Esme. She and her partner Gary Ord, 35, spent time with her, made hand and footprints of their baby and wearable to keep her in a cuddle cot. Lucy says the time she was able to spend with Esme was so important. Image, Newcastle Chronicle. Don't miss. Volodymyr Zelensky survives 3 Kremlin assassination plots due to double agents. Puppy smiles at everybody who visits shelter in hopes someone will adopt him. The Ukraine war pictures Vladimir Putin doesn't want Russians to see, and why. Sinister reason behind Vladimir Putin's unusual walk could be linked to the KGB. The staff at the RVI were absolutely beyond amazing, said Lucy. They told us how beautiful Esme was and helped us pick out outfits for her. We got to cuddle her and make memories. When she was in the cuddle cot, I looked at her and still expected her to move. That time we had with her was so important. We got to look at her, her face, all her features and see how beautiful she was. It's really important that parents get that time. Lucy, who has a 4-year-old son, Jonah, and 1-year-old daughter, Thea, is now helping to raise funds for the charity For Lewis, which supports families affected by miscarriage, stillbirth and the loss of a child. She works as a stylist at the Halo Salon on Station Road, in Hebburn, where her colleagues have been helping to raise cash. They held a walk to the Angel of the North and have organized raffles. They will be hosting a bake sale on March 25 and 26 in memory of Esme. More than £2,000 has already been raised. Leslie Little, 44, owner of Halo, said, "We are doing this because Lucy means a lot to us and the charity For Lewis helps people who have lost a child. Things like cuddle cots and memory boxes make a massive difference to people's lives and we want to do everything we can to support the charity." Anyone wishing to make a donation can do so here. Read more. British student brands treatment of black refugees at Ukraine border dehumanizing. Read more. Paddy McGuinness shares his heartbreak over his autistic children being snubbed.